Welcome everyone. Adam the Woo here to beautiful, no cell phone service area next to the mountains, going through the mountains, past this river in Colorado as the recording of this Monday, June 20th, 2022. Oh, it feels so good. And I am heading to Fort Collins, Colorado, and just so happens to be wearing an appropriate t-shirt. Now, even though this is WDW, there is a Main Street USA in Florida at Magic Kingdom. You know, almost a bigger version of the Disneyland Main Street USA, which I've been to Marceline, Missouri, Walt Disney's hometown, where he took that idea and also peppered in a little bit of Fort Collins, Colorado ideas. I am excited. I've never been there. I'm inviting you to join me. Been to Marceline, Missouri, that Main Street USA. Never been to Fort Collins. Ugh, it's gonna be a good day. I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? This drive-through here really is something else. Very beautiful. Right through the middle of the mountains, along the side of this river. Incredible. This is a very clever name for a store. I like it. There are a couple of Sasquatches here. Wonder if they know, wonder if they're friends with Big the Foot. I would imagine. They might be twins. And they have a tower here. It says, see the falls. Free tower, see the falls. Go through the store and you can climb up there. I can't pass this up. Colorado has a lot of elevation already. So I'm just adding to that elevation by going up these stairs. Wasn't too bad of a little walk up here though. Oh yeah, look at that. Waterfall over there in the distance. To be honest, I don't know if I would have even noticed there was waterfalls there if I hadn't seen this little lookout tower. I was driving by it. It's kind of disguised from road level. And you see the water pumping out of the dam there too. Pretty neat idea building this tower. It probably gets people into their gift shop a lot more than people just driving by and not stopping. And I think that was worth a $4 souvenir. Also, I got something to go on my fridge when I finally get home, whenever the heck that will be. Been on the road for a while. I always like magnets. It's a nice little souvenir. Throw on the fridge. Made it to Fort Collins now, and I felt it appropriate to start off here with the home located off to the side, which is where the designer Harper Goff lived for a few years. And definitely this area of Fort Collins resonated with him. And when he started working for the Disney Corporation, Disney Company, and Walt said, I'd like some photos of places to create Main Street USA, and he thought of his hometown. So he returned back here and took photos of the downtown area here in Fort Collins, Colorado. And the rest is history. And once I get over to the downtown, I'm going to try to match up some of the stuff and just see if anything looks reminiscent of what I know from Disneyland or Walt Disney World's Main Street. But this is the address, 612 South Howes Street, H-O-W-E-S. Little piece of Disney history here. Harper Goff's house. I have made it now about a mile away to the cross streets of College Ave and Mountain Ave. Now this isn't going to be one exact stretch of road like you would consider how Marceline has, just one main street, kind of like Main Street USA is, but it's just an interpretation of some of the buildings that were photographed that turned into what we know as Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. Where Marceline, Missouri, Walt's hometown, is just the one stretch of road.
This is going to be kind of a mishmash of different buildings within this old town area right off this corner. And this place is much busier than Marceline is. But I am loving the storefronts, like this jeweler's place right here. Even some ghost signs still exist, like Owl Cigar Company, 5 cents. And while nothing yet specifically matches up, I am getting the vibes. Getting the vibes through here. Seeing what they were going for. Oh, I like this retro Northern Hotel sign right there off the side of the wall. A lot of these do look very reminiscent of what you would see at the parks as you enter in. The Historic District. Now this corner looks a lot more kind of like the facades that I'm looking for. And take a look, there is a Starbucks here as well. Yeah, you know what? Just like Main Street, I'm gonna get myself a Starbucks. Why not? It kind of fits the vibe a little bit. I don't know, I just think that's kind of cool. Kind of a neat little tie-in. Yeah, right there. Vanilla latte, the largest from Starbucks, and what was one of the 2 major inspirations for the subject matter. Just like they have at Disney. There's no Joffrey's. There's no Joffrey's here in town. I prefer Joffrey's, but actually Disneyland doesn't have Joffrey's either. That's only a WDW thing. I prefer Joffrey's over Starbucks, but Starbucks works too. Oh, this is pretty awesome. Harper Goff has an alley named after him. You know, because he was kind of roaming around here taking pictures about the design, what now exists. And at the end down there is a train station, you know, similar to how the train stations are in the parks. Harper Goff Alley. And over here next to this oversized ice cream churn, that's what that is over there through the exchange there, is a little mural in dedication to the life of Harper Goff. What the heck? This is awesome. Right here, painted on the side of this electrical box. Some of the work is done by Chris Bates right there, and it just shows Harper right up top. That's kind of a neat kind of effect when you go this way. You can't really tell who it is, but then when you turn around, the indentation there, and it just shows his face perfectly. That's awesome. Oh, here, look down here. Here's Ward Kimball. Yes. I didn't think I was going to see anything about Ward Kimball, but there's a Ward Kimball nod in there as well. I love this kind of stuff. I'm glad that they honor him here in his hometown, and they have a little bit of a connection to Disney. I like that they do that. They're embracing that to some degree. Even got Frank Thomas down there. Walt. I guess Walt is speaking from over here. If you just imagine that there's like a Force Ghost of Walt there, and then Harper here, they're having a conversation. So yeah, Walt is talking to Harper, who is in Fort Collins. Okay, I'm getting the reference now. Definitely getting the reference now. See if I can see anything else on here that's... Oh, look at this. Jungle River Cruise. There's a nod to the jungle. Oh, there's the Jungle Cruise boat. Right there. It's tough to see. Yeah, it's tough, but there's a Jungle Cruise boat right there about around his neckline where a tie would be. This thing is full of details. I'm sure I'm missing a lot that I'm not really seeing while standing here. Probably catch it later as I'm watching this footage back. Let me get a little farther back and get a kind of across the way a little bit. Ah, yes, Disneyland. Now I'm catching the Disneyland right there with the railroad going by. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see quite a few things in here. But I'm gonna step across the street and just show what it looks like from across the way, standing on the other side of the road. You can just see how tall this is. It's the entire, tallness of the building itself. I like that they did this. Chris Bates was the artist. And there were parking spaces, but this place down here really is a beehive of activity. There's a lot of people down here, so I had to drive around a bit before I found parking. So I guess Harper Goff Alley would be not through the exchange, but down this way. So I gotta walk down in honor of Harper Goff. I'm gonna walk down his alley where there are some robotic individuals here holding tacos with their robotic hands. I've been to a handful of different alleys that were named after different people in honor of different people. Dave Grohl Alley is one of the first ones that comes to mind. Flaming Lips Alley. And now I've been to Harper Goff Alley. Now, using some serious imagination and putting his interpretation into my mind, I don't even know if that's what he was thinking, but you can just imagine the castle down there where that Starbucks is, and then turning this way, looking past these buildings. So keep in mind, again, castle right down there. Again, it's just not one stretch of roads, just 3 or 4 different streets that provided photographic, you know, photos and things that Walt would use. But as we'd be exiting, you know, so I'm just kind of imagining I'm exiting either one of the parks, Disneyland or WDW, and you go past the train station. So castle down there, of course there's real traffic here, and then the train station here looks a little bit different, but it's kind of set up the same. Now, there are no steps. You can't go up to the top to get to the train, and you can't look down. You cannot look down Main Street there, or their interpretation of Main Street. This is the way you would go out of the park, underneath one of the tunnels, either this tunnel or the one on the other side. I'm really going out on a limb here, because there's a limb right there. There's a tree right there, and was not certain if there'd still be railroad tracks back here, but there are. Look, there are railroad tracks back here as well, looking over this fence line. An active railroad, except they must have a new station, though they're not using this one. This is now a Brazilian steakhouse. Starting to get the feels through here a little bit more, just because you really are starting to see the interpretation of this. This is something you definitely would see, except here, I keep wanting to see the names on the side of the windows. You know, up in the windows, like Walt's father and other Imagineers. There are no names on these windows, and these don't look exact, but I'm definitely seeing what they were going for. Okay, crossing over Jefferson now onto Linden. There's a theater there, now called the Artery, and they're doing a lot of construction out here. So you call this a construction update. Construction update. What's new? Fort Collins. Boy, they are really doing a lot through here. This is one of the quintessential roads that were used and photographed that eventually became, you know what? And way down at the end down there is that mural of Harper Goff. I walk back over here for a minute. Just in my mind, I'm picturing lining up right along here on either side of the street. So just bear with me for a moment. Don't mind that jackhammer directly behind me making some racket. But just imagine, if you will, lining up here on this side or on that side for the Main Street Electrical Parade. It looks just like it. Kind of similar. You're kind of seeing the dust is kind of getting in my eye from that jackhammer. But yeah, I mean, I cannot be the only one that's feeling this.
Wasn't per se, well, the jackhammer's back. Wasn't one road per se, it's just the entire Old Town area here in Fort Collins. But I'm sensing it.
Now, in a roundabout way, this kind of gives me train station vibes, kind of. It's a bookstore now. But first impression of seeing this, it kind of gives me some train station vibes. Yeah, it's really tough not to at least acknowledge the fact that this is... I mean, look at that right there. Yeah. Come on. Okay, this... I would say this architecturally is more than Marceline, but Marceline has more of the Disneyland Main Street vibe than this entire circumference of all these blocks. But architecturally, using the photos that Harper took of these streets, added in with the idea that Walt had of Marceline, I mean, honestly, the rest is history. Those two places, Fort Collins, Colorado, and Marceline, Missouri. I'm just waiting for the electrical light parade to roll through here. And here's another building Kind of strikes a chord as well. And just like you'd see near Coke Corner, there's a piano here. There's no piano player. Well, it's called Coke Corner in Florida. I can't remember what it's called at Disneyland, where the guy will sit and play piano. That's what that reminded me of, Coke Corner. And over here next to this brewery, this pub and brewing company, take a look on the side of the wall here. You got Angel's Delicatessen and Party Service, but there is a Coca-Cola mural, ice cold, big king size Coca-Cola right here on the side of this block. That is a beautiful building and a nice kind of, well, I call that a ghost sign. Someone told me that once. That's kind of resonated with me, a ghost sign. And I had just mentioned Coke Corner, so it kind of works out that this just appeared as I turned and saw this. Look at this. This is a big 12-ounce king size, ice cold. And crossing this crosswalk here, there are some remnants of the old railroad or streetcar stuffs going through here. You see the brick. Look at this. This is exactly like I'm walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA. Remnants of the old streetcar. Was it horse-drawn carriage streetcar? I could just picture a horse-drawn carriage streetcar going down this very road. It's been erased from existence, but it's remnants here. And the brick, not cobblestone, but brick. I guess this would be brick, not cobblestone. But that is so dang awesome. Remnants of the past. I was just looking on the Fort Collins website, the city website. They were saying the bank building was also used as an inspiration. I'm trying to decide what building that would have become at the parks. All right, I stand corrected. Curiosity got the best of me, and I read a couple articles about, you know, some of the buildings and what they were inspired by, and how this made me think of the train station. In reality, this was used as City Hall, because this used to be the old Fort Collins City Hall and fire station. The City Hall was over here on the left-hand side of the building, and where Happy Lucky's Tea House was the firehouse. But this building, built back in 1881, was, so they say, quite a few different sources say that this was the building that was modeled for City Hall at Disneyland. Look at this. Now I'm seeing it from this angle. When I was over there, looking from that corner, the first thing I thought, my first thought, was that it was the train station. Has that train station vibe too, but now I'm seeing City Hall, 100% City Hall. Another old advertisement on the brick up there too. Kind of tough to tell what that says. I had thought it'd be kind of cool to get a haircut down here at the Inspiration. You know, I've never gotten a haircut at Magic Kingdom, which is on my bucket list to do too. One day I want to get, I don't say bucket list, but it's on my things to do. I like to get a haircut on Magic Kingdom, right next to the fire station and all that. I thought it'd be kind of neat to get one here in Fort Collins, because I do need a haircut, except McCarty's barbershop is closed. Also, this Commercial Bank and Trust Company building, it's pretty awesome. Look at the architecture on this. It's now called the High Point Bar. Oh, there used to be a bank at Disneyland. True story, Bank of America. It's now like a merchandise shop. And here's another barber shop, but they, as a recording of this, it's a Monday, closed on Mondays. Sad trombone. Decided I want to cover some serious ground today, so getting on Interstate 25 North. Gonna try to cover a lot of ground. Crossing over the state line into Wyoming now, but probably gonna cross another state line after Wyoming. I'm just gonna see how far I can get and not really stop too much. Try to make up some miles. Get northbound. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts on the interstate. Pulled off here at this rest stop. Look at the flags up there. They are just gusting in the wind. noticing this across the road. Says all entrances are closed to Yellowstone Park because of the flooding they've been having. I wasn't going to Yellowstone, but it's very interesting that it's still closed. All the entrances are closed. And there might be animals out here as well, leaping across the road. So we gotta watch for those too. Stopped off here at Locomotive Park in Douglas, Wyoming, and yes, there are some impressive trains here. But there's also something not equally impressive, but pretty dang impressive. Jackalope Junction. There is a ginormous jackalope. Now, I do not know if Dave Coulier has ever been to the self-proclaimed jackalope capital of the world, but I feel like he would enjoy it because he voiced the jackalope on America's Funniest People back in the day. That's how I remember Dave Coulier. A lot of people remember from Full House, but fast as fast can be. You'll never catch me. That was a bad impression. Oh, and that's not the only one. This place has a multitude of the famed jackalope. How's it going, jackalope? Holy cow, look at that saloon, and what the heck? Went ahead and decided to stop for gas. Saw a sign that said, going on to Highway 94, there will be no fuel for the next 75 miles. So the Grassland Market is where I'm stopping off at. Fueling up at $4.79 a gallon. And this is a nice bonus. I'm gonna go inside and get myself a free jackalope sticker. Yes! I may have misspoke with whatever highway it was I thought I was getting on. In reality, I'm on Highway 59. There was an overpass that went over the top of these two trains that were going by, and I can't even explain how windy it is out there. And you can tell a little bit by the, the wind kind of blowing the grass there. But man, just standing there, very gusty. I'm in my car, but the camera kind of poked out the window. You can see the window roll down there. All right, I have now turned eastbound onto Interstate 90. So I went north for a ways on a highway and then turned onto an interstate, I-90 east now. Oh, there was a deer right in the middle of the road. Hello, deer. Hello. Hello, dear. What are you looking for? Pulling through Sundance now. Sundance, Wyoming. There's the Sundance Kid. Right there. Here's a little information about the sculpture. Harry A. Longbaugh served time in our local jail and did take his name from Sundance, Wyoming. Commissioned and donated by the Sundance Area Chamber of Commerce. And that's going to do it for today. I covered a lot of ground today. About to cross over into another state. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.